We live in a twilight world, man. Let's do a quick recording. It's going to be a real quick one. There's not really much to talk about at the moment regarding like my kind of work. I'll be honest, there's been quite a few things that I probably could have turned up to, but I had no idea they were going on because I'm not really paying attention at the moment. For example, look at this clown here. Reporter tear gas by police during farmer protests in Brussels. So yeah, across Europe, there's been these farmer protests. Yesterday, there was one in Brussels and in Madrid in Spain. I would much rather have gone to Madrid than Brussels. And today, there's one in Poland. I'm not going to attach any footage. You can go find the footage yourself. Or just don't even bother. But, you know, from what I saw, it was very theatrical. And it's very similar to what I kind of exposed with the France protests, in that the area where the, you know, so-called fighting to and froing was going on. You know, there was like a tire fire, water cannons, so on, seemed to be in an area that was sealed off from the members of the public. You know, which tends to happen a lot, man. If you go and look at my Paris thread back last year, around March time last year, when there was a lot of so-called protests and riots happening due to the pension reforms in France. You know what I'm talking about, yeah? So yeah, man, like, I didn't know this was going on. You know, Brussels would have been quite easy for me to get to. I don't think I would have been allowed on the film set like all of these mainstream journalists and their photographers. But I probably could have got quite close. I probably could have been like these guys, got right to the edge and been a spectator. But I imagine in some way, shape or form, the police, who are not in on it, by the way, they're just doing their jobs, would have set up a massive kind of perimeter around, filtering out who can and can't go in, and definitely discouraging people from going into this zone, you know, this kind of temporary film set. And so on. But yeah. But the thing is, you know, I did a video not that long ago, yeah, and I was talking about an experience I had with my dreams, where I was pressing my snooze button, jumping into a dream, pressing my snooze button on the alarm clock. I'm talking about the snooze button, jumping into a dream, and it was amazing. I called it quantum sleep because I was just jumping in and out of these different dreams. And as fun as it was, I didn't really know what the message was being sent to me there via the dream world. Now it's making a bit more sense to me, because what I'm picking up on with this year so far, the year they're calling 2024 on the Matrix calendar, is that all of these, what I call illusion operations, they're in the spotlight for a day, then they're, boom, forgotten about within 24 hours. And the next thing's coming along, the next thing. Like the dreams I had, jumping from one thing to another, rapid, quick time, quantum leap into the next bit of fiction, to the point where it's very hard for someone like me to keep up with it. Like I said, this one in Brussels, by the time I would have, you know, jumped in a car or jumped on a bus or booked a flight or whatever, you know, it would have been over by the time I got there. The next thing would have been on the spotlight that all the masses would have been talking about. And, you know, one of my techniques that I kind of adopted last year is that I would usually keep my reporting 2, 3, sometimes 4 days back, to avoid all of the kind of weirdos and creeps that try and like ring up the hotels I'm staying at and so on. I don't think that, you know, it's just going to be weird now, because like I said, it's old and forgotten about within 24 hours now. So for me to come along then 4 days later and give a thorough, in-depth illusion warfare report on the situation, I don't think people are going to care. And maybe a few of you will care. Maybe a few of you will look at it just because you like the kind of crazy shit that I do and the way I kind of approach things. But as far as making an impact in changing the world and dismantling the Matrix and freeing people up, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have the same kind of effect that I did, like I did in 2023. Anyway, I'm going to go grab a coffee now. I'm going to do some people watching. I'm going to gather my thoughts. And I'm in the mood to make a few videos today. So I'll probably do a few more later on. Nice little quick 10-minute hits. And yeah, man, I hope everyone's doing well. Ideally, I hope you're not spending too much time on a Black Mirror. And you're out there enjoying life, man. Like what I'm going to do now. This iPad and my iPhone are going to stay in the car, and I'm just going to go sit at a coffee shop, buy myself an overpriced coffee and do some people watching. Because I learn a lot about the energy, the general kind of energy that's going on in the world by just watching the masses, how they're moving around, and so on and so on. We live in a twilight world, there are no friends at dusk.